Alright, what's up everybody? This is Omega from Omega's Gaming. Today we're going to be going over Warden tanking and why I chose to do a Warden tank and why I think it's so good. Um, we're going to go over gear sets, CP, my rotation. I'm going to explain a little bit about my rotation. I'm going to explain why the build and rotation works, especially for the Warden. And then I'll kind of go over food and different things like that. So let's go ahead and jump into the gear part. Now, my gear is kind of unconventional. I don't like running the normal sets that everybody runs. I like doing my own thing, and it seems to work for me really well. So on this build, I'm running 5 Seducer and 5 Plague Doctor, and 2 Engine Guardian. Infused head, infused chest, infused legs, divine shoulder, waist, boots, and then I have the one-piece sturdy just for the extra block cost reduction. My rings and necklace are all Plague Doctor as well. They all also are healthy with magic recovery. Doing the double sword and shield on my front bar. It is infused with health, back bar infused with stamina. For my CP, running sort of the basic CP setup. Warden has a lot of healing, so we're going to go with 100 into Blessed and 100 into Elfborn to kind of buff our healing even further. The rest of the points I just kind of toss in the Physical Weapon Expert to get a little bit more damage when I do my light and heavy attacks. In the red tree, I'm going to throw 36 into Spell Shield, 28 into Ironclad, 31 into Thick Skinned, 37 and 37, 35 into Heavy Armor, and 5 into Recovery. It used to be taboo to put stuff into the Heavy Armor focus, but when you're running Seducers, you do not get any armor buffs besides the Heavy Armor passives. So this makes up that difference, and you'll see where my defense is actually still really, really high. You also think that these are relatively low, but you have to remember on the Warden, when you pop your shield and your major buff, it gives you 8% damage blocked, or reduction, so add 8% to basically all of this. In the green, since I'm primarily a magic tank, I put 49 into here, 49 into tenacity, because I do a lot of heavy attacks. I pretty much heavy attack constantly to make sure that my resources are up. 100 into Shadow Ward, that way I can block as much as I need, and I put into dodge roll because if you can dodge roll an attack and then heal or vice versa, sometimes this is better than blocking, to tell you the truth. That way you don't get, sometimes you get one-shotted right through your block. So on my bar, I have on my back bar, which is my healing bar, I have Lotus Blossom, Leeching Vines, Inner Rage, which is my ranged magic taunt, Ice Fortress, which also gives me my 8%, my minor protection, Bull Netch, which is going to give me my more stamina, and then I double bar Healing Thicket because of the healing that it does. This is considered my healing bar with a taunt. That is because in your Nature's Gift, you get 6% more healing for each one of your green balance. So I make sure that, this is here with my healing. Also, when you heal yourself, you get 10% extra max health for 10 seconds. And that's for you and your entire party whenever you heal with one of these, green balance abilities. So Healing Thicket buffs the entire party on top of doing major healing, which will come into play when you see where my health is at. On my main tanking bar, I have Pierce Armor, I have the Gripping Shards, Arctic Blast, Structured Entropy, and Absorb Magic. Healing Thicket. Absorb Magic because this is my main, so I get to block more. This gives me more health on this bar than my back bar, and I'll explain that. Arctic Blast is a huge burst heal. I've had this crit for 17, 18k. It's 12% of your max health and then 2% health every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. So it is at 22% of your health in 10 seconds. And when you have a lot of health, it adds up. This is more for damage, and it also immobilizes the abilities, so it's kind of like Talons. So you have an immobilize. Um, on my main bar, I have 55 health, 18 magicka, 14 stamina, with 1679 recovery. Swapping bars, my health drops down to 50, and I have a little bit more stamina with more recovery. The reason for this is while I'm blocking here, I'm always blocking while I'm casting my healing abilities. Okay? The reason that my health is lower on this bar is when I swap over and you can see my health drop. When my green healing abilities go off, I'll automatically buff myself that 10%. So I choose when I get the 10% bonus to my health. It's not going to be random when I get hit, and it's only a 5k difference. It's not that big. So I'll instantly heal up, but then I'll go to about 61, 62k health, which buffs all of my healing, all of my damage, everything. All of these abilities are very cheap. So Bullnetch, Vines, Blossom, everything is cheap. And the goal is to not spam these to a dangerous where your magic is too low, but spamming them to proc Engine Guardian, because the healing, nothing's going to kill you through Engine Guardian while it's healing. Same thing with magic. If it's giving me magic, I sit here and spam my healing constantly, and then still get a chance to pop him up. I can spam my shields while I'm getting hit, have a chance to proc him. Engine Guardian procs constantly on this build because of how much, you're not just perma blocking the entire time and wasting shit. It's gonna pop up quite often. When it comes to why this works on the Warden, it mostly comes down to the green balance and your high health. High health really works on the Warden for your healing. Green balance gives you more healing, buffs you. So it all really kind of comes together. I was able to solo Valken Scoria on hard mode with this character. It did take quite a while to beat him, but anything you can solo Scoria on is obviously good. The cost reduction that you get from Seducers really makes it easy. Here are my buff stats. 29,721, 29,653. So I still have the good stuff. Once I'm gold, that'll take me to 30k all day. And so, I mean, I think the limit is 32 or such. So I'm right there. But I have cost reduction, really high health, and then Engine Guardian that gives me all of my resources. See what happens if I take a potion as well. So that puts me up to 2160 recovery and 1982. So I'm right at 2k on both bars. Almost 22 and 2k. So lots and lots of recovery. No problem with magic. And then the Bullnetch will actually give you stamina while you're blocking. So that's a way to get past that. Like if you're low, you should always have this guy out like 24/7. He goes down, pop him back up, because that's always another chance to get Engine Guardian to come out. Food wise, I'm just using the triple stat for the most part, because obviously I need the stamina. You want to try to get as close to 15k stamina as you can. I wish I could have, like, my ultimate goal would be, 20k magicka, 60k health, and 15k stamina, but with the stuff and what you can do with builds right now, you can't really achieve that. This is about as close as I could get, keeping my spell resistance and physical resistance up there. I would recommend using tripod potions, obviously, but I don't have them, and I can't make them. So I just use the Magicka ones because Magicka is what I'm going to need the most for healing. I did pick the Argonian for the Argonian passive. If you don't know, Argonians are fantastic for tanking. You're going to get that max Magicka. I'm a magic tank. When you drink a potion, you restore 4620 health, Magicka, and stamina. So I could be low and your potions give you 7. So I think it's anywhere between like 10 and 13k of each if you're using tri-stat potions. Increase your max health by 9. I'm a high health build. Disease resistance is always good. And your healing done and healing received by 5%. I do healing because of Healing Thicket to buff myself. So I heal 5% more. And then your received, obviously, that's going to help out with your healers. Um, I've saved whole groups using Healing Thicket and buffing everybody. Same thing when you use your Ice Fortress, it also buffs everybody. Leeching Vines buffs quite a bit of people, and the Lotus Blossom it can help, I think, the lowest health person, but it's a lot for yourself. Um, the reason we heavy attack so much is because this is a 5k heal every time I heavy attack. It also gives me a lot of my resources back as well. So I'm getting heals from this, getting heals when I'm attacked, getting heals and doing damage. So there's a lot of health. I mean, even this, when you get hit from it, it gives you 18% of your max health on a 27k shield. So it's just the amount of healing that you get, it's very hard to kill this tank. And it's not like it's not tanky to begin with. So you're extremely tanky, um, and you can heal. You need most of your passives, not all of them. Some of them are kind of useless for tanking. Um, I don't need this. I don't care about chilling enemies or snares. Your one-handed shield, you want to make sure you have all of your stuff in one-handed shield. I don't use low slash. Uh, I don't feel that I need it. Healing Thicket is 75 ultimate, and with how much you get hit and your dots that you're running at the same time doing damage to them, that also gives you ultimate. So it happens so fast that this is a wasted space on the bar when I could have more healing on this bar and more defense on this bar with my passives. Um, Armor, obviously, you want all of the heavy armor. Um, I'm not a vampire or a werewolf. I don't. I mean, vampire you'd be more tanky, but then you have to deal with fire damage, and I don't feel that I need it. I think it's overkill for this setup. Mage's Guild, you just need structured entropy for the most part, so that you can get that extra health on your front bar. Undaunted, you want all of your Undaunted passives because as a tank, you're going to be popping a lot of synergies. So this is going to heal you with your synergies as well. And then you get the 6% here because I have a medium helm and a light shoulder so that I could get as much resources as I possibly could. Um, Alliance War stuff, I mean, you could run Warhorn if you want to. I don't need Warhorn. I'm going to give everybody their 10% health anyways. So if the healers and stuff want to run it for the extra crit damage and things like that, that's fine. But I don't run Warhorn. I mean, you could run Barrier to help out, but with the 200 ultimate on the Warden, it's not necessary since this only costs 75 and can basically heal everyone to full in 4 seconds. There's no point. Um, Besides that, it's a very good tank, very survivable. Uh, the resource management is godly, very hard to kill, and as long as you make sure that you keep all of these green balance abilities up, and then anytime these run out, you're popping these bad boys, and you know just make sure you keep the healing up. This is what's going to keep you alive, is this stuff right here, because right now I'm getting magic, I'm getting stamina. It's it's really good, and a lot of people don't like the sets that I run, but if you've ever run with me, you'll know that I'm very hard to kill, and I actually provide, even in trials, like 19 or 22% of the healing on top of being able to tank everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. There'll be more videos to come on different builds that I have for tanking, DPS, healing, all of that. I have all the classes all maxed out, so I'm going to start kind of doing stuff. So if you guys have any ideas of what you'd like to see next, whether you want to see how I would run this on a DK or maybe on a Templar, um, or anything for DPS. DPS is really, it's all the same, so that's why I wanted to do a tanking video first. Tanking and healing you can get a little bit more creative with. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Other than that, have fun playing ESO.